Hello, welcome to Laura's Painted Minis. I am Laura, and we are back to this Warthog Warrior. As you can see, I did do a little bit more after last week's stream. If you haven't been on my Instagram or Facebook, see that now. I think the pictures of it that I posted last week on my Instagram and Facebook was after I'd done all of the other stuff too. So he's got a lot of armor, but he's also got a little tunic. I don't know if I talked about this last week. I'm gonna paint the. I don't know if you'd call this a tunic or whatever it would be. The official term. I feel like there are official terms for this little thing. Because you see them on like night type art and stuff. So I'm gonna paint that first because we'll see how bright or just how exactly the green is going to end up turning out. Here are, while I throw them around, here's what I'm going to use, at least for now. I feel like this will work pretty well. Grave Bloom in particular will help kind of mute down the brilliant green, but the brilliant green will also help it kind of stay in the green, like actual green region. And want to the little card. I finally got some of these cards, so I'm kind of excited for it. But yeah, this up here is the color scheme we're gonna do for this guy. He's definitely mostly armor when you sit and just look at him. So there's not actually a huge ton of different things that you can do on him. So that's why I'm sticking to a triad. So yeah, we've already got the red violet kind of going on with his skin. And then green. Then we'll have to figure out the red orange, which we do have that a little bit as well, actually, in the skin. These both kind of are in the skin a little bit as well as in the hair. I would say the hair probably maybe even more so. As you can see if you kind of compare that and see in these lighter areas they look similar to that. But yeah. So we'll see how the green actually turns out. And then that will kind of help inform the decision on the armor of whether I'm keeping it really, really dark or maybe more of a mid-tone. I probably will not go like super bright with it. At the moment, I am thinking I'll probably keep it dark, and so I'll use some black and steel on it. And then do just kind of a regular silver on the actual weapon he's holding. These are both colors I haven't used for a little while, so they're all dried up in the nozzle. So I had the first session of my first campaign that I'm running. Ooh. This one's pretty gloopy. And it went pretty well, I think. Two of them almost died. That was, you know, them deciding they were going to chase after the guy that was not meant to be actually fought. But hey, you know, that's their decision. They actually almost took him down. Right. Our winter was extremely dry, so I am finding anything that I haven't used very much over the winter has like glops of dried up paint just like inside the nozzle tip, really. So I have to do a bit more than just sticking getting the pokey tool through the top. I usually have to take the actual nozzle off. Excuse me. But yeah, he was supposed to escape in a fancy enclosed carriage, and then the fighter, of course, takes out their hand axe and chucks it, and I think they got it. I think they got it at 20. So I let it happen. They, you know, what she wanted. I let what she wanted happen. It landed somehow perfectly in the one of the wheels of the carriage and jammed it up and broke off. And of course the carriage tipped over. But eventually he got a couple of them knocked down and made his escape. So they survived, and yeah, the others, one got 3 successes on death saving throws, so they stabilized, and then the other one that was taken down, one of the other characters was able to perform a successful medicine check. And stabilize the other. You know, I forgot just how beautiful this brilliant green is. Straight up green is not often something I'm reaching for. yeah, I feel like this session went really well. Since there was we were kind of mixing session 0 in with session 1. The beginning was kind of more of just some icebreakers and getting each other all on the same, having same page with expectations for the game and any house rules and such. Anything that, any pet peeves and stuff. It's not necessarily like a fun part, but it's a good thing to do and not skip, because then that way you'll all be on the same page. Could also we're getting that red orange in even more. I do have like this colored metallic, the way it's like kind of like a red orange. I have to really get it mixed up to make sure. I mean, I guess that's the color it was when it was mixed up when I first got it. I just haven't used it, so I don't really. I hadn't really been using metallic paints for quite a while because I was trying to get used to doing non-metallic. There's a lot of nice, fun, cool looking details in the armor, so that could be like a really fun way to bring those out. Is like do the black and steel on the armor, but then use that forge glow metallic. And bring out some of these really cool details. Like, you can kind of see it even on screen. There's up here specifically. We'll see. That might be something I just kind of play around with when I get to that. See what I like, see how it turns out. So yeah, it'll be fun continuing the story. That's gonna be where I think I'm gonna have to get used to, or really figure that out. I mean, like I have like a general idea of the flow of the storyline that will play out, like a general storyline. I mean, they also have their own like character things too. But yeah, it's gonna be fun. Trying to think some. Get out. I don't know. So I basically would do sort of I'd probably use some gray liner and to do a base coat over what I have here. This is just like a really thin coat of the, I think I used Rogue Shadow, which is, it is a liner. And it seems like the Reaper liners adhere really well to the Dungeons and Lasers stuff. Much better than actual primer anyway. So yeah, I need to get to thinking about if there's any minis I need to paint up for whatever shenanigans are going to happen in the next session. I mean, I asked them at the end of session of like, so what do you think you'll want to do? So now there's interest in following up on the whole kind of cult that they found out about through being taken captive. So that is how the campaign started. They were all tied up and gagged in the cellar underneath the tavern. So yes, they still met in a tavern. But it also sounds like someone wants to try and go buy some more daggers. That being the rogue. Because they spent a lot of the fight throwing, well, so they threw a dagger. And so they were kind of wishing they had another one. Which means I need to look up / create some prices. If that is something that they are going to be wanting to do. I like how this green is turning out. I'm also realizing that I used green of some sort in all 3 of the Dew Slayer sample packs. And like even very similar color schemes. Did not intend that. I did not try about that. Tried to do that. I guess they all inspired me to have paint green on them, apparently, or purple. Okay, I think the green's pretty much done, actually. So let's go ahead and just go ahead and play around with the armor and see what we want to do here. I'm not gonna get like super fancy with it. My plan is to do sort of some pseudo shaded metallics. So I will get a regular paint, gray liner, which I already talked about, and I'll do a base coat of that. And then where I want it to be shiny, I'll bring in an actual metallic paint and put that there. So trying for this armor, if I am going to do what I was talking about, where I bring up the actual fancy details with this, I might actually do the armor. Maybe do it a little bit differently because there's not enough room that it would actually show a ton of shine. So first we need to get the gray liner down. It might end up being where he just has differing colors of armor. That would definitely be a little bit different for me. I normally just do all of the armor the same color pretty much. But I mean, if you look at the actual detailing on some of it, it does seem like it might be just slightly different. Different pieces maybe. Maybe he ordered them at different times. You can see now how that is the rogue shadow, how much red that actually has. This is the gray liner that I'm using. It's actually making it look kind of blue. Be next to it. Ooh, I got started base coating the main body of the dragon that I was working on, or have been working on. So that's kind of exciting. Means that now I need to actually figure out for sure what I'm doing with the wings, because I keep going back and forth on what I want to do with them. On whether I'm going to keep them dark like the rest of the dragon, or if I'm going to do, I'm basically, yeah, going between whether I'm going to keep it dark like the rest of the dragon and just kind of essentially use all the same colors that I've been using to highlight it. Or kind of go with a maybe like a beige, like beigey off-white-ish. Probably stick more to beige or a tan or something. I don't think I want to go too much into like actual off-whites. I don't want to go too bright with it for sure, because it's supposed to be a dark dragon. Yeah. I think I'm leaning more towards a beige, just because then that would give me something different to do amidst all of the scales that I still have yet to paint, like on the body and then on the tail. I think it would help my sanity, and it would also give something interesting too for the eye, to look at beyond the various like horns, claws, and gemstones. But a lot of those there's not a ton of them in comparison to how big the body is. So I'm definitely leaning towards the beige idea. I probably will be painting another character PC player character mini. There we go. That's the word I was looking for. Or phrasing. Those just kind of depend on if they want to. So they did buy one. I think they said they got it off Etsy. And I should have like had them mention to let me double check what they are thinking that they would buy, because it's very small. I kind of wonder if maybe the place they bought it from does like on smaller scales, or maybe it's just someone who, like, if they maybe had feedback, regular common feedback that was smaller than what was expected, something like that. I mean, usually it's a friend who is usually pretty good about keeping an eye on that stuff, but it's something that, she doesn't buy minis, so there's some things that you don't know to look out for or look for in descriptions, or even like, I mean, I don't think she would know scaling wise, like what different scales of things would mean, or yeah. So we'll see. And I don't think she left it with me, so I'll have to double check with her, like if maybe she's gonna go back onto Hero Forge and try and look for something again. I told her that they do have. I was pretty sure they have rabbit folk options. So she said she couldn't find any. So I don't know if they've. I don't know how much she really stays on, like, up to date on their stuff. So I'm guessing, based on the last time, her last character she made, that I painted, that it's been a while. They've added a lot of things since then. I think the last time she ordered one for me to paint was when they first started doing the colored printing. But I want to say they've been doing that for a couple years now. But I guess I'll also just double check too. It also didn't come with a base at all, and there's no integral base sculpted. So yeah, it's one of those things that you learn to think about and look for as a miniature painter or DM, but someone who's not, you don't know. You don't know that, an integral base is not a guarantee, or what it means when something's heroic scale or true scale. But we'll figure it out. We'll either make the mini she got work, and she might just like alter her character's description, because she was gonna choose the medium-sized rabbit folk, because you can choose whether you are medium or small. This is definitely, it looks like it's supposed to be a small size, even though she said she chose medium. So yeah, kind of unfortunate thing. And it's an easy thing to run into buying off of Etsy, because people can put whatever in the descriptions, and whether they know what they're talking about or not. All right, I think we have enough of some of the armor dried. Let's see. Oh, there it is. Sorry for the weird noise. That was the Vortex mixer. But this definitely needed a bit more shaking up. Might still need to do some more later, but I think it's fine for now. So we got these two. It's the blackened steel, and this is Forge Glow. I do not remember where I got the Forge Glow. I don't remember if that was a fast palette that I picked up, or if that was just like a little freebie added in when I bought some stuff in the last year. It's got a 2 in the front, so it's probably not something you'll be able to find, at least for sale individually, unless it's one of those, unless it was one of the high seas ones. That could be. Okay. So I'm thinking I'll just do some spots up here at top in between. It's not wanting to focus very well, is it? That is one idea. Hmm. Those are the two different ideas that I had. feel like this one you can see the cool designs they've got sculpted into it a lot better. Whereas this one I'm kind of losing it a little bit since I'm trying to. You can see it on down here, obviously, because then that's meant to be where there's kind of less actual light getting to that, like the background metal lower, yeah, inset metal, whatever. That looks pretty cool though. It's a little bit harder on this side because you have the dagger in the way. I guess I didn't do the metal or the gold filigree on down here. I didn't think I was gonna like this one as much, but I think because I want the whole point was to be able to see that design that they've got sculpted in here. So I think I'm gonna go with this one where I used black and steel as the main color of the armor, and then this forge glow on the little ornate details that are sculpted. Yeah, I think that still looks pretty cool. We'll bring in some pearl white mixed in with both of those colors for up here. That's a metallic paint. It's basically the idea, same idea as like an actual pure white, only this is it has metallic flakes in it. It's hard to tell in the bottle, but there is metallic. This is metallic, so it's a good one. I've learned that this is a really good one to have. You can mix it into your other metallics to kind of create that brighter shine. If you're gonna try and control semi where you want the highlight to be, but you still want to use metallics. So yeah, this is kind of the way to do it, really, or a way to do it. If you look up shaded metallics, I'm sure, excuse me, I'm sure there's lots of other ways other people have done it. So yeah, that's gonna be it for today. Thursday will be dragon, the dragon body. So I'll have to figure out how to fit it underneath the camera. Here's see the fun stuff sculpted on the wings, like the veins and stuff. So come back Thursday, same time, 1:15 p.m. Central Time for some dragon painting. And I'll put my socials in chat. You can follow me on any of those if whatever works for you, whatever one you are on. And Instagram and Facebook are the ones if you want to just a moment. My son is awake. But yeah, anyway, Instagram and Facebook is where you want to go if you want to be able to keep up to date in between streams of what I'm working on. If there's anything that I'm posting for sale, or even to just contact me if you want to do a commission. So, yeah, that will be it for today. I hope you all have a good next few days, beginning of your week, and I will see you Thursday. Bye.